Juliet made it back to her silo at the end of the last season, just as a revolt was about to destroy it, so why does everything now feel so slow and sluggish? It's time to talk about, analyze, review, breakdown, and rant about Silo's third season premiere episode, Who Are You?
Spoiler alert! Hit it!
So a heck of a lot's happened in 2 seasons. Juliet was an engineer down below, then she became the sheriff, trying to figure out a mystery which led her to be the first person to ever survive more than a few minutes outside. She managed to find another silo, one where everyone died by going outside, except it wasn't fully abandoned. All while all hell was progressively breaking loose in her own silo. Juliet eventually realized that she needed to go back to prevent the same disaster that befell this one, and she arrived just as Bernard, the mayor who knows far more than he lets on, was leaving. They both go back in the airlock as that room got consumed by fire.
It was all really exciting. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Well, now, she's the mayor.
What? Where's the revolt? Where's all the commotion?
Some time has passed, Gigi. Now she's eating soup in her room.
Oh, what happened to the war that was about to break out? You know, when they blew up the stairs and everything?
Looks like all that stopped when she got back, because she was a symbol, the first person to ever survive going outside. Yeah, everyone pretty much reveres her.
But wasn't the computer about to kill everyone like what happened in the other silo?
It's possible averting the war stopped that, and you're not gonna like this.
Not gonna like what?
It looks like this season is gonna be split between what's happening in the silo now, with Juliet behaving oddly, and a flashback to before anyone got inside any silo.
Well, I was afraid that was going to happen, considering how the previous season ended.
So back in the past, we follow a woman who carries a bag. She walks into a hotel and comes out again wearing a different cap and jacket, goes into the subway, boards a train, but leaves it because she feels she's been followed.
A little paranoia never hurt anybody.
Then we catch up with her in the park, meeting a young fresh congressman, Daniel Keene. That's her brother, and he was the guy who was on a date at the end of the last season and gave the woman he was talking to a Pez dispenser. Her sister's a soldier. She pushes hard for him to get on a special committee, and then leaves. She obviously knows a lot more than she lets on.
This is all very mysterious.
And while that flashback ends, we realize what's happened to Juliet. She can't remember.
What? They're going with the memory loss thing? But she was about to save her silo from the computer gassing everyone. But they thought it would be a great idea just to Jason Bourne her.
I'm not happy about it either, McCluck. But that's what they're going with.
There's only one good story that managed to pull off the I've lost my memory trope, and it's the Bourne identity. All the others suck.
That's the path that writers have chosen. We're stuck with it, I'm afraid. Sims, who pretty much control everything that went on in the silos behind the scenes in the previous seasons.
That's what his wife, Camille, does now.
Well, he's now the judge, and we get an explanation from him that Juliet was in the burning airlock for 3 minutes, and she was out of oxygen for most of that time. But the fireman suit protected her.
Lucky she had to use it last season, eh?
Oh, absolutely. But that lack of oxygen damaged her brain and her memory.
To the point they have to repeat that to her once more.
Oh, it's obviously more for our benefit, McCluck.
Oh, I know that. It's obvious. I just wish they'd come up with a better way to explain to us what happened, rather than tell the person who already knows.
Sadly, Bernard wasn't so lucky, and his suit melted around him. It was so bad, they had to incinerate his body rather than bury it.
Did they really? I mean, yeah, we saw the body go on the conveyor belt, but we didn't see it go into the flames now, did we?
No doubt there'll be a big "he's still alive" reveal at some point.
Anyway, I hope so. Someone who remembers needs to do something about what's going on.
But what's going on?
We don't know.
I wouldn't get my hopes up. We then see another flashback where Sims suffocates a clearly still alive but badly burnt Bernard.
I knew we couldn't trust Sims.
That's not much of a surprise, Gigi. We never could.
Well, there goes that idea.
So, this is going to be a case of the blind leading the blind, while Sims and Camille have a so obvious agenda to control the situation to its fullest.
But all that will have to wait as we head back into the past.
I already don't like this back and forth.
So, Senator Keene is off to meet the governor who can get him on that committee his sister wants him to be on. We're reminded Iran set off a dirty bomb in Washington, D.C., and a retaliation's been planned.
Bit close to home considering our planet's current situation, eh?
Anyway, he gives his reasons why he should jump the queue and get on that Iran committee, and we leave it there.
And
and we're back in the silo.
This back and forth is gonna give me whiplash.
It's time for the first committee meeting. We're told it's been 3 months since the rebellion.
3 months, and Juliet still can't remember?
Yeah, that's frustrating, but on the plus side, they're trying to change the way the silo's being run by being more transparent, hence this large meeting. For instance, Sheriff Billing's in charge of rewriting the pact, which is their Bible/rulebook, and Sims even tells the committee they've removed most of the cameras Bernard had installed.
Why mention cameras? When they were discovered, people didn't even know what they were because the current population had been kept in the dark about technology for generations.
No idea, Doc, but I also don't believe a word of it. Do you?
Nah, he said they only kept a few for security, but I don't buy that for a second.
And why blame Bernard for everything, even installing the cameras?
Every good rebellion needs an effective scapegoat.
True.
Yeah, I don't believe Sims either, but at least they have a council meeting now and more transparency, supposedly, so that's gonna be good, right?
The more transparency you have, the easier it is to hide in the shadows.
But there's no time to listen to that committee, as we're back into the past.
And Keen's informed his sister's part of the retaliatory mission against Iran, and it's flying that very night.
Okay, we're getting a bit of a Top Gun moment, but I ask you, does anyone care? We followed Julia's story for 2 whole seasons, and now she's lost her memory, and we keep getting flashbacks to what happened before the silo. Who cares? The mystery was the show's greatest attraction, but I was hoping we'd get the answers organically, not by showing stuff no one now has any way of knowing themselves.
Well, it looks like the Iranians have got some super weird defensive cloud. Like some weird black ooze kind of cloud that gets everywhere, even inside the cockpits. That ooze destroys the Tomahawk set against Iran, as well as the squadron of F-35s.
Oh, the sister?
We see the other jets explode, but not hers.
Well, not yet anyway.
Well, thankfully, the senator tells Keen she survived.
Good to have people in high places, for all we care.
And back to the show's present, the meeting's still going on. One of the head miners, Mr. Harwood, explains that there was a cave-in in one of the shafts, but everyone's okay. He also says that, contrary to what the pact says, miners know how old the silo is. It's at least 300 years old, based on all the mining, and it's a miracle the shafts don't collapse more often because of how much digging has been going on over the centuries.
After that meeting, Knox asks Juliet if she remembers it, but there's no joy there.
This is actually so frustrating.
Well, she's not faking it, though.
I never thought she was, but we left the previous season with such a sense of impending doom. And what's going on with the few survivors from the other silo, by the way? It's been 3 months already.
Whether she remembers or not, Juliet is now the silo's figurehead hero, and it looks like she's being carefully controlled by the Sims, and I doubt they have her best interest at heart. There's also issues with outsiders, rebels and insurgents who are causing trouble and can never be found. Yeah, they just broke into IT to steal a helmet, and also put a large banner over the stairs saying that the display is a lie, and outside is all green grass and blue skies.
That's not gonna be good.
But we know that's not true. That glimpse from a computer we saw all the way back in Season 1 is the lie. It just shows what used to be. Even the cleanest visors show that fake image. It's all about control, though, isn't it? But there's no time to deal with that because Senator Keen is off to see his sister, who's been cared for in a special facility.
That's because she had a traumatic brain injury, and guess what? She doesn't remember her brother.
Oh, great. So now we've got 2 people in the same show with memory loss.
On the plus side, Juliet is beginning to remember bits and pieces, like how she thinks she got into another silo.
Well, they can't have her remember, so Camille shows her a recording of what her visor saw, and she just went into a refuge hut outside, and she stayed there for a while.
Why all the lies?
Yeah, that recording also shows grass and blue skies, so it can't be true.
We know it's not true, Gigi. We know what happened to her.
But why is Camille going to such lengths to mess with her head? Well, I'm guessing they couldn't kill Juliet, as she was the reason the rebellion happened. So this makes me think her memory loss is induced by the Sims for whatever reason, so they can keep controlling the silo.
Interesting theory, Doc.
Meanwhile, Orla, a young girl soon to be the head of supply, talks to her boyfriend about investigating Harwood's daughter.
The head miner?
Yeah, and she has an idea how she might be smuggling stuff, which is why she's under investigation.
Sounds like Orla may end up having an accident of some kind.
And while that's going on, Sim's wife goes and talks to Silo's AI, and you were right, Doc. Camille's suppressing Jules' memory, but she's doing that because the AI tells her to. Seems the AI is in charge, not the Sims.
You can never trust AI.
Except for me, of course.
Yes, Alicia. Except for you.
I'm guessing the drug's either in the vitamin pills she takes, or the soups.
She's not a fan of this evening's soup, but but as she throws it away, she notices a canister with a message inside it.
Oh, lucky she didn't swallow that.
What does the message say? Want to know the truth? Turn your bowl upside down, go to the marketplace, and burn this.
Ominous.
And that's where we leave it.
I'll tell you something for nothing. I don't like the flashbacks to before the silo. We don't need them. And on top of that, Keen's sister getting memory loss. What the hell, dude? Why is everyone who knows stuff forgetting everything?
Those flashbacks really feel unnecessary.
I doubt we're going to walk away from them, dog. They're baked in.
They just feel so bolted on. When we were introduced to new people in Season 2, there was an organic feel to it, and it progressed the story, expanding the lore, but there was always a deep mystery of what was going on. Now, I don't mind having answers to the mystery, as long as it arises organically, as our protagonists uncover it. This feels like the wrong way to do it.
Not only that, but it makes me feel like the silo story is so thin this season, it needs loads of padding to extend the runtime. Doesn't give me a good feeling.
And what about Juliet's memory loss?
Induced memory loss? Well, aside from the fact that I called it, well, it feels it ruins the momentum that was building for the last 2 seasons. And frankly, if they killed Bernard so easily, why couldn't they also claim Jules had died from the burning?
I doubt very much they got Tim Robbins to reprise his role and put on a ton of burnt makeup just to do a 5-second scene. He's not dead, but he's hiding somewhere.
Also, doesn't feel like the silo from the previous 2 seasons. That one was dark and old and oppressive with everything breaking down. But when that young woman, Orla, the new head of supply, she comes out of that warehouse, everything feels clean, and there's even an electronic lock. It just was just so out of place compared to what we were used to.
I love the idea that knowledge had been lost, to the point that they didn't even know what a Pez dispenser was, and that such info was forbidden. They didn't even know what a camera was, let alone what it did, but now it's treated like normal tech that's also now being removed, except we know it isn't being. It just doesn't feel like the silo we fell in love with.
So, not much joy for the start of this season after waiting so long for it to finally come back on air.
I don't know. The fact that it's so obvious everyone is hiding something and controlling Jules, it's clearly by design to make us feel something is going on. I'm in for it. Yeah, well, it's just laid on a little bit too thick if you ask me. While at the same time, I'm frustrated by the lack of urgency. Let's not talk about those flashbacks.
It's just the first chapter, mind. Maybe things will get better as the story progresses.
It bloody well better. Right now, I feel disappointed we waited 1.5 years for this. Right, well that's pretty much all we have to say about this episode. Do let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll give you the response you deserve. Spoiler alert! Shit, no, wrong one.
I don't mind having answers to that mystery, so long as it arises organically as our progressive blah blah blah.
Her sister's a soldier. She pushes... Her sister's a soldier. She pushes... Her sister's a shoulder. What's a shoulder?